however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in listening live at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you happen to be watching live on YouTube. There seemed to be a problem with the first stream, but it has been rectified, and we are up live on YouTube. You can watch all of our shows on YouTube, whether that is The Morning Huddle with Rob and AJ. If you happen to be listening to the Blitz earlier today, as they were live out at Novo Brazilian Brewing Company, attached to North Star Mall. Just gave away those Post Malone tickets. You can also catch me out right here, San Antonio Sports Stars YouTube page. I am James Pledger. Appreciate all y'all for rolling along with me tonight as we get you ready. And, of course, go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star. You can comment in the comment section. I see Fred Roberts already gotten back into the YouTube live stream. I saw Ram earlier in the previous one. Something happened. It failed. I created a new one as fast as I could for all of y'all that happen to be listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, if you will. And I appreciate everybody that goes on and does that, as well as the ones that are listening live. You can call in if you want to be a part of the conversation that way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to jump in on the conversation. And as we're starting off the conversation talking about the San Antonio Spurs, and my goodness, Wemby went full Wemby last night as he was just a monster with 40 points, 12 boards in just 26 minutes. He is the only person in NBA history to have 40 points and 12 boards in 26 minutes or less in an NBA game. As a matter of fact, he had 25 of those points in 8 minutes in the first quarter. He had 37 at the half. I mean, just incredible. Now, Steph Castle did get hurt in that game, and that's a bummer, but day-to-day is questionable for tonight's game. So my guess is he's not playing tonight if I was to take a venture. And they give him through the All-Star break to rest up before they go into Austin and start playing those games with Phoenix and Sacramento over there in the Moody Center. But it was a hell of a performance by Victor Wembanyama last night in the San Antonio Spurs. For the first time, they did not fall backwards against a lesser opponent, knowing they were going up against a shorthanded squad. And this morning on the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob talking about how the Spurs were rolling and Wemby just straight dominating.
The Spurs get a 136-108 victory last night in LA against, what was this? The Long Beach Lakers, or the what were they?
I don't know. They had a guy named Bufkin.
The Burbank. I'm not really sure where they were from.
Bufkin and Moravia and Hachimura. It sounds like the
it was
Usual
Kobe.
Suspects.
What do you mean? It was Kobe.
It was the cast from the Usual Suspects that played for the Lakers last night.
Yeah, it was Kobe and Braun. It was
it was Bufkin, Moravia, Hachimura.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Hayes.
Yeah,
remember him?
yeah,
There was
yeah.
a Hayes that showed up. There was a James.
There was a Vanderbilt.
There was a James. There was a Vanderbilt. Remember the scuffle, the little kerfuffle last time we saw? There's none of that.
Yeah. Drew Timmy got like a ton of minutes.
Drew got absolutely obliterated.
Yeah.
Go back and watch what Wemby did the moment he saw Drew Timmy step onto the court. Holy cow. I've never seen anybody get roasted more than poor Drew Timmy.
But also, on that note, Drew Timmy led the team in scoring.
Well, you know.
So,
Wemby,
good with the bad.
Keep in mind, Wemby played about 9 minutes, felt like, last night. I've never seen anything like that, dude. That was as incredible of 12 minutes of basketball. I'll give him the whole thing.
47-30 in the first quarter. Wemby 25 points in 8 minutes.
It was like
quarter.
17, or was it 20 consecutive points from Wemby? On every level, in every way possible, he scored.
Yeah, just had his way.
Threes. He had a 3-point layup. he took off from the 3-point line and got to the rim on a layup.
Yeah.
He hit 2 threes. He had a drop step dunk. He had a fadeaway jump shot. He had a corner three. He had a behind the back pass. I mean, it was I mean, it was like watching a pro dude show up at the YMCA for a couple of minutes.
And it was a great overall day for the Spurs, with one exception. Stephon Castle goes down.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Time.
I mean, they said it's a tailbone thing. It looked like he might have hit his head too. Luckily, he's got that big mop on his head, so that probably protected him some. But it was a very short night for Castle. He only played 12 minutes. But by the time he was out of the game, it didn't really matter.
So even in that 12 minutes, he's still averaging right at about 28 a game over the last two. So we'll give him a few hours off.
So he played minimally. And it's funny, like if you really look at the box score, do you know how many, like, okay, so Wemby led the team in scoring, 40 points. Do you know how many first of all, do you know who the second leading scorer was and how many he had?
Let's see. The second leading scorer, was it Harper or Champagny? Champagny?
It was Carter Bryant.
Oh, Carter Bryant. Well, you know what? I missed the fourth quarter, so that must have been a lot happening.
16 points was the second leading scorer. One of only four guys. So Dylan Harper had 15.
Yeah, Harper.
Harrison Barnes had 11.
And we'll get to Barnes.
The non-Wemby starters, Champagny, Fox, Vassell, Castle, combined for 27 points.
Well, okay. So what do you take from that?
I mean, they didn't need anybody last night.
Well, I think the entirety of the focus was for Victor.
Oh, yeah.
When he was on the court, everybody knew feed the dog.
Well, there was nothing to stop him.
Right. So they knew that. I mean, this was them giving. This wasn't them playing badly. This was them going, we know the drill tonight is to let Wemby go until he can't. And they let him do that. That's a good teammate, because they subjugated their game last night. To watch him just go absolutely bananas. I mean, for one quarter, nobody even saw the ball for a full quarter of basketball, because Wemby was doing everything from grabbing the rebound, dribbling it up court, to finishing with, like I said, at every level. That was more giving than being bad. It was this, when Wemby's on the court and we're all starters together most of the time, he gets to touch it every time down. So that's more a credit to the team going, man, let's watch this. This is kind of fun.
Bronny James finished with 12 points in 25 minutes. He had 6 assists in the game.
Respectable,
this was maybe the best game Bronny James has ever played.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
But they lost by 28 points.
Well, no, I'm just speaking of Bronny in general.
Yeah, it was
he's not an NBA guard, but he's certainly a very good G League international guard.
Sure.
Yeah.
What a weird. I mean, the Lakers without I'd say probably their top 5 players.
It was dumb.
And you said it at the beginning, like, why is everybody laying down for us?
When Wemby comes to town, everybody wants to get a front row seat.
Get out of the way.
I ain't going on there. Are you going? No, I'm hurt.
So
plantar fasciitis, man. I can't put on a shoe.
Yeah, what do you expect tonight out of the Warriors?
Not much. No Steph.
I would. Yeah, we know Steph's not playing. I assume it's going to be like no Steph, no Draymond, no Moses Moody, none of these guys. They're all going to sit, and
it's strange, man.
It'll be like it'll be Melvin Leons, and that's it, or Malevi Leon, and
Kristaps
Quentin Post is gonna play. Kristaps is out for sure.
See, they don't even got that dude. All right, man. Let's take advantage of this. It's like we come to town, like, just don't hurt the women. Just don't hurt them.
It's very odd what's going on here. But yeah, an easy win last night for the Spurs.
What broadcast did you have the pleasure of watching?
I don't even know. I wasn't paying attention.
I didn't. Did Sean and the crew do it?
I wasn't hearing our local one. I know that.
I got the Laker one.
It was either the Laker broadcast or a national broadcast.
I think the Laker broadcast was the national broadcast.
Okay, then that's what I heard.
So the guy that does color for the Lakers was just absolutely astounded by Wemby in the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, how could you not be?
I mean, but we're kind of used to some of the stuff that he does. They don't really have the full narrative, because part of the narrative was in the early first quarter that Wemby is now starting to venture out toward the 3-point line and taking more threes, which is not true. He's taking exactly the same as he's always taken. But he's just, last night was just nailing them. But
last night he was actually a good shooter.
Holy cow. But listening to the color guy from the Lakers see things that we see every night.
Right.
So it's funny to see how astounding it is to old NBA guys who watch him just obliterate other, legitimate NBA talent.
If you're not used to it, and listen, there's some nights where you watch Wemby and you go, and he'll play his 26 minutes and you go, that's what all this hype's about. This is supposed to be like the future of the league. And you go, all right, I guess. And then there's nights like last night and you go, oh yeah,
this isn't going to be fair.
I see that. It is very much like
he got a layup from the 3-point line and didn't dribble.
Yeah, he's able to do.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
He's able to do some weird things.
Poor Drew Timmy. I'm glad he got buckets in the fourth, because he got absolutely roasted on a spit when he got brought in.
Well, what the hell is he supposed to do?
I know. What's his? One of them it was Moravia, had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were just. It was like you're at the Y, and suddenly a pro shows up and wants to play a game with you. You're like, this guy can. Why am I even here?
That's what it looked like. It looked like there was a pickup game, and like this guy who doesn't even look like you could tell he doesn't belong in this game. Like as soon as you see him, you go, this doesn't feel right. And then he just starts doing crazy things. You go, I don't want to play this game anymore. That's how the Lakers felt.
Look, it's tough when Wemby's got it cooking. I don't know if there's a person on this planet that can stop him, because he just has every single advantage. He's got the agility, he's got handle, he's got range, he's got dribble, he can get to the rack, and he can light it up from outside. When he is in his bag the way he was against the Lakers, I'm not sure that there's a force of nature on this earth that can stop him in an NBA game. And that's just the truth, because he is an absolute cheat code when all things are firing. And last night, all things were firing. It was good to see them not play down to their competition like we'd seen so many times before. And Wemby himself even said it going into that game, man, the focus against a team that was as shorthanded as the Lakers and handling business was definitely something they had pinpointed going into this game.
Playing against quote-unquote bad teams or teams missing players has been a problem. Consistency. I think almost every time we've been ready against like the top seeds, and our record against them shows it. But we've also been bad against below 0.500 teams. And I mean, tonight, in my opinion, we had to make a statement and show progress.
Progress. And that's a good thing. It's progress. And the Spurs, look, a lot of people don't think this Spurs team is championship caliber yet. I'm finding it harder and harder to believe that it's not. I understand they lose some games they shouldn't, but they also play up to the level of every competition that they have faced when they have to face it. And that includes the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they have the Thunder's number inside and out. And the one thing you worry about is playoff basketball is playing the same time multiple teams in a row as they make adjustments. Can this team make the adjustments both in game and from game to game that it takes in a 7-game series? But this team, to me, there are a handful, 5 teams maybe, that can win a title this year. The Spurs are one of those teams, and it's them, it's Oklahoma City, it's New York, it's Detroit, and it's Denver and Houston. I mean, it's a short list, and the Spurs can play with any of them. And the arrival of Carter Bryant, and I'm not saying arrival as in he's the next dude, but he is definitely a dude that's going to help you down the stretch with the way that he plays. And Mitch even talked about his growth and development throughout the season.
I think it's a good example of what happens a lot of times with rookies, especially that may not play a ton at the start of the year. The game's fast for all of them. And whether they hit a rookie wall, as sometimes we like to articulate it, or they just get tired mentally, physically, emotionally, or they haven't played as much in terms of Carter's experience early in the season, the game slows down. What's that mean? A lot of things. Pattern recognition, getting used to personnel tendencies, how they're going to guard you or how they're going to combat you on the other team, and getting used to all the things that we ask of them. So I think he's starting to get a hold of probably what is expected of him and what needs to go into his own personal preparation to be ready to go. And it's just been fun to see him grow and have some success.
And like Paul says on our YouTube page, and I agree with him, I was going to bring this up, I think the end of Jeremy Sohan has been due in large part to the growth of Carter Bryant, because he brings the things that Sohan does. He's a better defender than Jeremy Sohan. He is a better outside shooter than Jeremy Sohan. And I think it just made the writing on the wall for the end of Sohan's time in San Antonio with the more comfortable he became playing in this lineup. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com. When we come back, well, there's this issue going on in the NBA, and we brought up Sohan, and that's one thing. Sohan's out, in with the new. But as the Sohan news was breaking earlier today, the Blitz got into a very interesting conversation. It revolves around the Utah Jazz. I'll explain as we come back right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a small Friday on the Morning Huddle, or a Thursday to you guys. Oh, baby. USA Hockey getting underway. How do they fare to start out their Olympic run?
I'm feeling very Olympic today. And did the Golden State Warriors lay down for the Spurs? Will that make 3 straight? We'll talk about that in my Gold Fever coming up tomorrow. I'll get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm worth more.
You bet I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
We completely agree. At GiveMeTheVIN.com, you are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more for good cars that give me the VIN, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if we don't beat a deal from Carvana or CarMax, we'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVIN.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, And it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text BOUNCE to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text BOUNCE to 215215. That's BOUNCE to 215215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Texas is leading America again, and John Lujan is a big reason why. Working side by side with Governor Greg Abbott, Representative John Lujan helped bring high-paying jobs home and strengthen Texas's energy dominance. Now, John Lujan is ready to bring the Trump agenda home to Texas. That means fighting for affordability, higher-paying local jobs, and lower federal taxes for working families. It means defending Texas energy, protecting oil and gas jobs from failed liberal policies, and keeping America #1 in energy production. It means securing our border, making President Trump's border policies permanent, crushing the cartels, stopping fentanyl, and ending human trafficking. And it means rebuilding our military. No social experiments, no distractions, just the strongest, toughest fighting force on earth. Conservative John Lujan is the only candidate endorsed by the San Antonio Express-News, Texas Alliance for Life, and Governor Greg Abbott. On March 3rd, vote Republican John Lujan for Congress. Abbott, Trump, Lujan, a tough team for Texas.
Political ad paid for by John Lujan for Congress.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm James Pledger. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight. Appreciate everybody that went out to Novo Brazil Brewing earlier today attached to North Star Mall. Congratulations to Arnie Flores, who ended up winning those Jelly Roll and Post Malone tickets. 2 more chances to win some this week. You've got tomorrow on the Morning Huddle, and then Friday, go see the Blitz live out at the Roo Pub. Boom. Your last 2 chances to win tickets to go see Post Malone and Jelly Roll up there in Waco at McLean Stadium. And, of course, remember, if you don't win your tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com. But taking a look at the secondary market, better shot at winning them. Or at least it's going to feel better on your wallet. I promise you that. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger, and we just talked about the Spurs and how well they played last night against the Lakers. They get the Warriors tonight, and then they head into the All-Star break. But the big news that broke during the Blitz was the fact that Jeremy Sohan is no longer a player of this team. And I think Carter Bryant's arrival is kind of a big part of that. But as we were talking Sohan, it also led into the conversation of something the Spurs did multiple times, but the Jazz are being more and more and more blunt, outright, egregious, and forthright with it. It is tanking in the NBA, and there has to be a fix for it because what we saw this week from Utah is just egregious.
Back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're live at Novo, attached to North Star Mall. Come see us. Register for Jelly Roll, Post Malone tickets. Only way you can win them is if you come down here and sign up for them. We've got some breaking news happening right now. Go ahead.
Jeremy Sohan no longer a San Antonio Spur.
The Spurs and Sohan have agreed on a release. So they have released him. He is gone and now free to decide on where he wants to play. I'm sure he'll have some suitors out there, I would imagine. But Jeremy Sohan no longer a San Antonio Spur. They agreed to let him go. So interesting.
And not a surprise, is they've been trying to trade him since the summer, and they couldn't find anything. And to me, that is a surprise. At some point, as I did see last week at the deadline, they weren't getting the value they wanted in return. And now you're just going to let them walk. Now, the flip side of this is they freed up a roster spot. So if there is that veteran guy that they want to be able to bring in, or maybe somebody from Austin, not a veteran guy, but it does free up the roster spot. But we knew this was going to be the ending of the story when we heard that about 2 weeks ago, the agent was allowed to try to find a trade partner, and Jeremy not happy with his current role with the San Antonio Spurs. Again, this is not a surprise. And again, for a high draft pick, what a bust.
A complete bust.
And again, not necessarily his fault in the sense of, I mean, everything changed when they picked up Victor Wembanyama, when they tanked to get Victor Wembanyama, and that worked out. Interestingly enough, now tanking is a big issue again because the way Utah is tanking and everybody's up in arms. I think we all agree. We all hate the idea of tanking, but the rules are set up that encourages tanking. Most aren't as blatant as what Utah has been doing this year, and ESPN's Bobby Marks just went off on what the Utah Jazz are doing.
I think what Utah is doing right now is messing around with the integrity of the NBA. The ability to sit players, starters, in the fourth quarter, to not call timeouts in the fourth quarter. Orlando won the game on Saturday because they basically rested players, and it backfired on them last night. So I think if you're the league, you're looking at it. All right, can we do some gimmicks? Can we alter protections and eliminate protections as far as picks? Or can we put the hammer down?
You know, I don't know why everybody's saying this now. It's just because Utah's doing it right in front of everybody's face and making it clear that that's what they're doing. Dude, I remember the conversations we had. Spurs fans were thrilled the Spurs were tanking, and it was out in the open. And we said back then, it ruins the integrity of the game. So the rules are set up for that. And so I don't blame the Jazz necessarily. Adam Silver's got to fix this, though, somehow, some way.
And I think, again, all of us hate the idea of tanking. All of us. Me, you driving on Highway 90 right now. We all hate the idea of tanking. Although when it's our team doing it.
Exactly.
You look at it a little different because you get a chance at the number one pick. Remember all the different sayings that we had for Wemby, or you go back when it was Andrew Luck. You wanted to suck for luck. Yeah, I mean, when there is that prize, it's worthy of, all right, this is what we're doing. We're not going to win games. Can we win the lottery? What do we have to do to suck the best to be able to get that number one pick? Except for, benching guys the entire fourth quarter is the integrity of the game, as Bobby Mark said. It was the last 5 minutes because organizations tank, players don't. And if your guys are out there, they're going to compete. That's what they're going to do. And maybe just because we're finally tired of it, and when it's that blatant, that in your face, you go from there.
No, you hit the nail on the head a minute ago. If it's your team doing it, you're happy as hell.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly right. You're happy as hell. Utah Jazz fans are thrilled with what they're doing. Spurs fans were thrilled with what they were doing.
It's hypocritical as hell.
It is.
It is. And I'm with you. But now that the Jazz are doing it, it sucks. Brian Windhorst was talking about the Jazz tanking situation with Rich Eisen.
Their pick is top 8 protected from a deal they made like years ago. So the only pathway in Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah, is to get that highest pick. And so that is the incentive, and I am showing you the result.
Yeah, but it's so we're not even a President's Day weekend.
I agree.
It doesn't seem it gets earlier and earlier.
Yes.
And earlier that the plug gets pulled.
Absolutely. And where it's spilled over is that now, for years, people would say, oh, they're tanking. But the players who are on the court aren't tanking.
Right.
The tanking was done on the injury list. But what's happening with Utah now, the stakes are so high for Utah, and there's so much tanking going on elsewhere. There's so much competition for tanking that they are now actively taking their players off the court. So, Lowry Markkanen.
It's after the fourth quarter.
Yeah. He had the other day, he had 27 points in 27 minutes. They sat him on the bench, and then their coach, Will Hardy, stuck his hands in his pocket, literally stuck his hands in his pockets and watched as his team go up a 17-point lead, didn't even call timeout. That's he knows the assignment. And by the way, before the season started, he was given a very lucrative contract extension. And, when he signed it, he understood this is what I'm being paid to do. I'm being paid to do what the organization wants me to do.
It's the Don Draper line. That's what the money is for. It's the Mad Men line.
And Will is frustrated, but he's doing what he's been assigned to do.
Right.
That is brutal. And I get it. All teams have done it. And the Spurs, nothing like this. Nothing where your best player in Lauri Markkanen is going on a tear. And you've got a team that, as currently constructed with Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen and Jaren Jackson Jr., who you just trade for, and Kyle Filipowski, can go win games and get you in the play-in tournament and get you in the potential postseason from the play-in tournament. But they've got a top 8 protection on a draft pick, and they don't want to lose that draft pick, so they're tanking to try and keep that draft pick. Eliminate pick protections. Make all picks traded unprotected. It will keep teams from tanking, and it will actually cause teams that don't have their picks to not want to suck, so that the team that has their pick isn't getting a good pick. That's one way to fix it. Here's another great way to fix it. And I think this is going to be great. I mentioned it in the chat during the Blitz on YouTube. I think there should be a tournament during the playoffs. And that tournament is for all the teams that are in the draft lottery, the teams that didn't make the postseason. And you can parse that as the ones that didn't make the play-in, or after the play-in is done, those teams then go to this tournament. However you want to parse it. But those teams play bracket style, single elimination, winner gets the number 1 overall pick. Boom. Not only do you stop tanking because it's irrelevant at that point in time, but when the NBA has nights off in the postseason, you can play these games in their absence so that there's still basketball on, even if there's not an NBA playoff game that day. That way you have basketball continuously all through May and June. You could sell it, slap advertisers, sponsors on it. I think it's another great way to eliminate protections and to have a tournament, much like the in-season tournament. Or you can get rid of the in-season tournament and turn into this postseason draft tournament. However you want to do it. But it's a way that generates more revenue, more TV, and more things to sell for the NBA, while also putting a product on the court that I do think fans would watch, because if your team's in the tournament to play for the number 1 pick, you're going to be watching to see if your team can get the number 1 overall pick. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What say you? Mario, welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge. My man, how you doing?
Good, Pledge. I want to say that was a good idea. On top of that, I would add in like how the Premier League and the UK for soccer.
What, relegate them to the G League?
No, I wish. But no, what they do is they tie their funding, their chunk of the pie, to their how well they did during the season. So if you do dead bottom last, you get the least amount of the shared revenues instead of an equal portion to each team, and that will tremendously help small market teams that, like Milwaukee when they won the title a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They would get a good chunk of that money. And there's no one single solution to this tanking problem.
But I think a lot of these ideas all put together can equal one phenomenal idea. Just take bits and pieces of everything, split the money differently amongst the teams and how they finish, have a tournament, get rid of protected picks, You combine all of these ideas and you can make one great concept that can help to eliminate tanking.
Yep.
Appreciate the phone call, Mario.
You're welcome, Pledge.
And I think that's part of it. Like all of these great ideas, and the Drew Show on our YouTube channel says, nice concept, Pledge, but Players Association needs to arbitrate a second postseason tournament. Fine. Let them know. It brings in and generates more money. More revenues mean bigger shares to the players, which means contract go up. I think they would accept more money. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. When we come back, we're talking about tanking. Now, let's talk about players that, they just can't get enough of something. We'll discuss as we come back here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action because you can make those picks and win money right now here in Texas. And it's so easy. You pick your favorite players. Are they going to go higher or lower on their stats? Points, rebounds, steals, three-pointers made, whatever it is, you get your picks right. You're going up to 5,000 times your cash. I'm still riding De'Aaron Fox. He's become a great part of this offense. Always a good look for higher with De'Aaron. Download the app today. Use my promo code Alamo. You'll get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 and Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom. Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
The largest gun show in San Antonio is at the Shriner Auditorium this weekend. Texas Gun Shows is open this Friday from 4 to 7 p.m., 10 a.m. to 5 Saturday, and then 10 a.m. to 4 Sunday. Texas Gun Shows is at the Shriner Auditorium on 1604 this Friday through Sunday.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-575-6879. 800-575-6879.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is back. Round up your foursome, your work crew, your weekend golf buddies, even the ladies, and get ready for a fun, laid-back day at the Golf Club of Texas. Monday, March 30th. Lock in a team for just $500 for a foursome, or jump in solo for $150 per player and spend the day talking trash, crushing drives, and laughing your way around the course. This isn't a stuffy golf club tournament. It's golf the way it should be. The Spring Golf Classic benefits feeding animals at no-kill shelters across Texas, so you're having a great time for a great cause. Presented by Flight by Yingling and sponsored by Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and Ancira.com. And when the last putt drops, the day is just getting started. Join us for the after party at the 90 Proof Bar at Lucky Ranch Road and Highway 90. Cold drinks, great food, and all the post-round storytelling you can handle. So pick your tee, claim your spot, and tee up with San Antonio's Sports Star. Sign up your foursome now at sasportstar.com.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Appreciate y'all rolling along with me tonight on this Wednesday night. It's a steak night at the Root Pub. Might be a good dinner option. Don't know. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Drew Show says vacay time is vacay time. He doesn't think money for nothing and chicks for free isn't just song lyrics. It's why unions exist. Nobody wants overtime, even when you're paid 50% more. That may be true. But that's a big number that those guys get paid. And the guys at the bottom would love to make 50% more, I bet. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hell, the guys at the top probably want 50% more too. Let's just be honest. People like money. And I think people like money even more than they like time. It is what makes the world go round. It is a symbol. It is a status. It is everything that this country really and truly revolves around. Earlier today, the Morning Huddle was talking about an interesting story about a linebacker who is going to Montana and he's going to be playing for, well, damn near a decade. He's getting his 9th year of eligibility. To kind of put this into perspective, this linebacker came out and was as highly ranked as Micah Parsons was when Micah Parsons came into college football at Penn State. As a matter of fact, this guy was rated slightly higher when he went to USC. And then all of a sudden, here we are. 9 years later, Micah's in not only out of college into the NFL, spent 5 years playing, and now is going into his second contract. While this guy is just trying to make a living at Montana.
Other college football news. This is insane. You may not be familiar with the name Solomon Tuliaupupu, but he is a Solomon Tuliaupupu.
I've heard every variation. They no longer make me giggle.
Tuliaupupu.
It's a tough name to live with. You grow up.
Yes.
You grow up tough.
He is a linebacker at Montana University.
Okay.
He is going to play college football at Montana next season, which will be his 9th year of eligibility.
Wait a minute.
Year 9. This is what Rob wants.
Why? Why are you mad? Why are you mad? Let's hear the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Tuliaupupu, who turns 26 in March, is entering his second season at Montana after starting his collegiate career at USC in 2018.
Okay.
He had 2 surgery-requiring injuries that impacted his foot in 2018 and his knee in 2020.
Okay.
He saw the field for the first time as a redshirt senior in 2022, appeared in 14 games for USC. That was so think about that. Redshirt senior in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to play in the 2026 season. He had another injury in 2023, missed the whole season. So he basically got like a waiver year, missed that season. So they let him come back in 2024. He played that. He got sick late in the year and missed games at the end of the year. Transferred to Montana in 2025. Played last year and is now going to play again this year.
Well, there's a lot of injuries in there. I mean,
cool. Maybe college football's not for you.
Well, evidently,
Exactly.
if he wasn't good enough, the coach wouldn't keep him. I mean, he does fill a spot. I don't think this is
good enough.
It's a meritocracy. And who am I to say? He's 26. He's been hurt 5 times. It's either that, go home and drive a bus or a beer truck and make a little bit of money here.
He ain't going to make any money at Montana.
Well,
this dude's Van Wilder.
Well, that's even more impressive then.
No, just go
I don't understand why we're so stuck in the mud as to you're too old for this.
It's for students, Rob.
And he's still a student.
I want to go play high school football again.
Well, that's different. We have laws. We have laws.
Then why don't we make laws?
Well, we don't, though. We don't have laws. So I don't know why you're so upset with guys that are able. We're putting in. Frank Harris is going into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame.
7 years.
He played 7 years.
It's absurd.
Of college football. Well, nobody begrudges him that because he was hurt for 3 of them.
Well, here's the other thing. He played 7 years. That's crazy. This guy playing year 9.
Well, why don't we look at it as a testament to will and grit that he keeps coming back after injury, and he wants to play the game that he was born to play. And who am I to begrudge him? If his coach wants him, his team wants him, who am I to say?
Yeah. If you're hurt, you missed out. Sorry.
Seriously.
You missed out.
I don't understand this anger, this vitriol. Like it affects me zero. It affects.
You know what? You know when it would affect you? It would affect you if you had a high school senior son.
If my kid was better, he'd be on the team.
If he was better than a 26-year-old man who's not even a college student?
Well, he is a college student by his very definition.
Yeah, let me take library maintenance 101.
As much as the freshmen are. So don't apply that to him. So don't apply anything more than you'd apply to anybody else showing up. He's as much a student as anybody else standing on that campus.
Your 18-year-old son is not better than Van Wilder.
Well, I mean, not the third best. I'm not saying the starter, but the third best. If you're good enough, you make the team. And if you're not, it is truly a meritocracy because the coach's job's on the line. So I trust in the fact that the guy's good enough to play. He's been hurt an awful lot. He doesn't sound like a mercenary that's just.
So what happens if he gets hurt this year?
Well, then if he can come back and play again, who am I to put an age limit? I mean, if you can't play, you can't play. Now, if he'd been playing every year for 8 years and trying to come back, then we'd have a discussion. But this guy sounds like he's been legitimately hurt.
So what happens when he gets to like game 7 and he's like, well, what do I want to do? Go get a job? I'm sick. Can't play for the rest of this year. I'll be back next year.
Your team sucks and your coach gets fired and you're out of a job too. I mean, there's a natural kind of flow to this thing.
Look, I appreciate his want to. The NCAA needs so many guidelines in place for all kinds of things, whether it is years of eligibility, how many red shirts you can actually apply for and retain, how many times you can transfer, when you can transfer, the amount of transfers. There's just so many rules and guidelines that the NCAA has just turned a blind eye to and let it go like the Wild Wild West, hoping Congress saves them from something, kind of like this Bediako story. NCAA turned their back and washed their hands of it. It took a court of law to step in and say, no, you went to the NBA, you played in the NBA, you are pro. You can't come back to college. Because the NCAA was like, sure, whatever. We don't care. We don't actually control or want to control anything. This is on the NCAA. This isn't on the player. This isn't on the coach. This isn't on anybody else. This is on the state of college football, and it just proves there needs to be better leadership at the top. All they're doing is cashing checks. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I'm James Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Martin, I see you on the phone there. We're going to wrap up this show with the most interesting topic of the day, which seems to have sparked the most conversation, and that is about tanking. What should we do about tanking in the NBA or in sports in general? Is there a fix, or are we just doomed to watch a team like Utah pull their starters and have their head coach sit on his hands as they try to lose a game? There's got to be a better way, right? We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Free products and services are the best. They're next to non-existent, though. But the next best thing does exist. Barter. Alamo Barter. Right here in San Antonio, if you have a business and provide a product or service, you can barter with hundreds of other businesses that are already members. From trips to a medical visit, restaurants, and home services, Alamo Barter is a great way for you to trade out your skills with others. Call Alamo Barter or visit them online at alamobarter.com. alamobarter.com.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like payroll manager.
Hi, my last paycheck was all in Icelandic krona.
You are welcome.
Welcome?
Given the exchange rate between the dollar and the krona, you're technically a millionaire now. Don't spend it all in one place.
I can't really spend it anywhere.
There's always Iceland.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This President's Day, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Texas is leading America again, and John Lujan is a big reason why. Working side by side with Governor Greg Abbott, Representative John Lujan helped bring high-paying jobs home and strengthen Texas's energy dominance. Now, John Lujan is ready to bring the Trump agenda home to Texas. That means fighting for affordability, higher-paying local jobs, and lower federal taxes for working families. It means defending Texas energy, protecting oil and gas jobs from failed liberal policies, and keeping America #1 in energy production. It means securing our border, making President Trump's border policies permanent, crushing the cartels, stopping fentanyl, and ending human trafficking. And it means rebuilding our military. No social experiments, no distractions, just the strongest, toughest fighting force on earth. Conservative John Lujan is the only candidate endorsed by the San Antonio Express-News, Texas Alliance for Life, and Governor Greg Abbott. On March 3rd, vote Republican John Lujan for Congress. Abbott, Trump, Lujan, a tough team for Texas.
Political ad paid for by John Lujan for Congress.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Let's get wild.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. How do we solve this tanking issue in the NBA, especially when it becomes just as egregious as it was by Utah the other night? What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, like Martin. Martin, welcome in, my man. What's going on?
How you doing, Pledge?
You know I'm always
I like
good.
the idea. I know. I like the idea what the guy said earlier about just, those teams that are tanking, just give them one ping pong ball. And as far as the NFL, that parity, it's no good because you do have some teams out there and owners that really don't want to win, but they just enjoy making a profit. So I said, just get rid of the salary cap. Let those teams become dominant again, like Dallas, San Francisco, and, the Giants.
Yeah, I understand. I don't have an issue with that. I don't. I think that's a pretty good idea. Let teams become dominant. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with the lottery system. But when you're actively you start off, Lauri Markkanen's on a tear. I mean, even the Spurs didn't do this to where somebody's about to score 40 and the team goes up by, 17 points and they just pull them all in the fourth quarter. Don't let one of them get off the bench. And the head coach literally goes and puts his hands in his pockets and does nothing. I mean, I've never seen anything so blatant.
I know, exactly. You're right. That's just crazy. And the commissioner hadn't said nothing about it,
And that's also part of the problem is that the commissioner has said nothing when it comes to this. And I think that's part of the issue. There needs to be accountability on all angles, and the commissioner is doing nothing to truly rectify the situation.
I know a lot of people don't like this thing, but hey, I think someone's getting paid off.
Trust me, somebody's always getting paid off when you're talking about big money business.
You see, at least you agree. Thank you.
Appreciate the phone call, Martin. Welcome to call back anytime, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Guys, this has been a blast. Of course, thanks for spending your hump day with me right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Start your day with Rob and AJ tomorrow from 6 to 10. And, of course, stay locked in during those hours. You've got one of your chances to win Post Malone Jelly Roll tickets tomorrow morning on the Morning Huddle. And, of course, then you got the Blitz with Jason and Joe from 2 to 6 before I bring you back to close you out tomorrow night from 6 to 7. Remember to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life, and a simple, hey, how you doing can change everything. Be sure to kick off your morning tomorrow bright and early with Rob and AJ. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and SASportsStar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100